right. Shalom.
Shalom.
Shalom. Shalom, Ahav, Wa, Baraka. In other words, peace, love, and blessings. Facing the east. Kal Hala, La Yahweh, Bahashim Yahweh Shai, Bahashim Kwakadash. And double honors to all the elder apostles, the prophets, the teachers, the disciples, the sincere Akiyama Akwa coming into the 100% truth. Salutations. Today we're going to get into a class, I guess it could be a warning against the false prophets, but really it's just a warning to the whole 2/3 in general. But let's get some precepts. You give me 2 Peter chapter 2, and just 1 and 2, and then you get me Revelation 22, 18 and 19. I'm glad you have a book. I forgot to bring my Bible. Somebody tried to tell me one weekend that because I was reading it off the internet that it wasn't the same as the King James Version in the Bible, because I was telling him his sister couldn't be a church pastor. He goes, oh, that's in the Old Testament. I'm like, this is in 2 Timothy. Yeah. You got to be joking, right? So he said because it was on the internet, Revelation 22, but since it was on the internet, that meant that it wasn't telling the truth. So let's start with 2 Peter chapter 2, KJV, Blue Letter Lexicon. And then give me 1 and 2.
2 Peter chapter 2, verse 1. But there were false prophets also among the people, even as there shall be false teachers among you, who shall privily bring in damnable heresies, even denying the Lord that bought them, and bring upon themselves swift destruction.
Hold on. So who are privily shall bring in damnable heresies. So right away, it's telling that they're going to do it secretly. Go ahead.
2 Peter chapter 2, verse 2. And many shall follow their pernicious ways, by reason of whom the way of truth shall be evil spoken of.
Okay, stop right there. Let's get some words. What does the word pernicious mean, right? Pernicious ways. Let's start with that. It means you're destroying, utter destruction, perishing, ruin, destruction. The destruction which consists of eternal misery in hell. You gotta look the words up every now and then, right?
Yes, you do.
So when it says that, and many shall follow their destructive ways, and by reason of whom the way of truth shall be evil spoken of. So that's what happens is you get these false teachers out here, and you get somebody like one of the three of us out there, and we're going to start speaking the truth. And what they're going to do is they're going to gaslight the truth and try to push their own vain imagination on you, which turns into the precepts of men. So it's going to be evil spoken of in the truth because the precepts of men don't line up with the truth. Go ahead and get me Revelation 22, 18 and 19.
Revelations 22:18. For I testify to everyone who hears the word. For I testify to everyone who hears the word of the prophecy of this book. If anyone adds to these things, God will add to him the plagues that are written in this book. And if anyone takes away from the words of the book of this prophecy, God shall take away his part from the book of life, from the holy city, and from the things which are written in this book.
So he said that if you change any of the words of this book, or the words of the prophecy, if you shall add unto them, then he's going to add unto you plagues. So let me just explain what he's talking about. So when we go over to Deuteronomy chapter 28, and we're going to start at verse 15, it says, but it shall come to pass if thou wilt not hearken, if you will not listen, if you will not comprehend, if you will not embrace unto the voice of the Lord Yahweh, to observe, to do all his commandments and his statutes which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee. So the curses that he's talking about that are going to be added to you, start at Deuteronomy 28 and 16, and they go all the way through 68. So if you, and there's just so many, I really, yeah, I mean, we could start, and it'll take us all day just to go through the curses. But read that again. Go back to Deuteronomy 22. Go back to Revelation 22. And 18 again.
For I testify to everyone who hears the word of the prophecy of this book. If anyone adds to these things, God will add to him the plagues that are written in this book. And if anyone takes away from the words of this book, of this prophecy, God shall take away his part from the book of life, from the holy city, and from the things which are written in this book.
So, if you are one of those people that take this, when you take the scriptures and you justify lies through the scripture, that's changing the words of the book. When you don't look up the words and you tell people, oh, you're studying too much, why are you looking up the words? Well, we need to know exactly what the book is actually saying. Right. If you're not looking up the words, then you don't know what the book's actually saying. You're just going off of your own vain imagination again. Get me Titus chapter 1 and get me Matthew 15. We're going to jump around and go through some notes.
And start from the top?
Yep, start from verse 10.
Titus chapter 1, verse 10. For there are many unruly and vain talkers and deceivers, especially they of the circumcision.
The ones that are of the circumcision are the people that are along the bloodline of the 12 tribes. So we're talking about Israelites only. Keep going.
Whose mouths must be stopped, who subvert whole houses, teaching things which they ought not, for filthy lucre's sake.
Well, hold on now. They subvert whole houses. They destroy your entire household with their lies, and for filthy lucre's sake. So what is the 501c3? What are they doing? They're getting paid. What is everybody doing out there when they bring out the word? They're doing it for money. Filthy lucre, dirty money. Lucre is money. So that's what they're working for. They're not bringing out scriptures in righteousness and joyfulness in your heart. They're literally just working. They're hirelings. What? Keep going.
Titus chapter 1, verse 12. One of themselves, even a prophet of their own, said, the Cretians are always liars, evil beasts, slow bellies.
So they're saying that their own people. Like, you know, a good example is when IUIC, they'll have members that leave their camp, and what do? They put up a video saying, oh, those guys are liars, they're doing everything for money, they don't care about the people, they're subverting whole households, they're destroying entire families. That's what's really going on. And then they have slow bellies. What does that mean? That means they're fat and lazy. Most of these people come out with the diet like, yeah, soil of seed, my brother. The soil of seed means do something for free for me while I do nothing for you. So let's keep going. 13.
This witness is true, wherefore rebuke them sharply, that they may be sound in the faith.
To rebuke is to correct them. But let's get that word rebuke, because it goes a little deeper than that. To rebuke them sharply means to refute, confute, generally with the suggestion of shame of a person convicted. To shame you sharply, so to give you a harsh judgment so you're sound in the faith. We don't want you going off. Only a person that loves their people would suck it up and come out here for no good reason other than to teach. Let's get back into it. Go ahead and keep going. One more verse. Read 13 and 14 together.
This witness is true, wherefore rebuke them sharply, that they may be sound in the faith, not giving heed to Jewish fables and commandments of men that turn from the truth.
What is a Jewish fable? First of all, the suffix ish. What does ish mean?
Like.
To be like, to be pertaining to. So when I say that you're childish, but you have a full-blown gray beard on your face, we know that you're not a child. It must mean that you're acting like a child. So when people are calling themselves Jewish, they are acting like the real Jews. And they're doing a bad job at it. You're not going to get no award for the way you act. Your acts are not like the real Jews. You just pretend. You say you're the real Jews, but then you act like Edomites. You act like the sword is your blessing. So, not giving heed to Jewish fables, to Jewish lies. Fable means lie. And the commandments of men that turn from the truth. So when you go into the commandments of men, what happens is, like I said, they'll use the same book, but what they're doing is restructuring the breakdowns so you believe something different. Let's go over to Matthew chapter 15. And give me verses 8 and 9.
Matthew 15, verse 8 and 9. These people draw near to me with their mouth and honor me with their lips, but their heart is far from me, and in vain they worship me, teaching as doctrines the commandments of men.
So, the people draw near unto me with their mouth. All praise, brother. All praise. Kwam Yasharala, brother. Kwam Yasharala. And they honor me with their lips. All praise. Kwam Yasharala, brother. Saying all the right things. Showing up. But really, deep inside, they're only going through the motions. And there's a reason for that. So we're going to have to get that, though. They're only going through the motions. Because their mind, their heart is far from me. So in their mind, they really can't wait to get back to doing what they were doing. Nobody even know why even going through the motions. That's what I don't understand. Why even waste your time? But I have to get it. I have to get this. I must. I'm going to go into the book of Mark real quick, and it's chapter 4 and I think 16, where it says, "And these are they likewise which are sown on stony ground, when they have heard the word, immediately receive it with gladness, and have no root in themselves, and so endure before time afterwards. When affliction or persecution ariseth for the word's sake, immediately they are offended." Those are the people that are far from you, and their heart is far from you, because really they like what they hear, but they're not willing to do anything. They're not willing to what's the word I'm looking for? They apply. They're not willing to use application. When they learn something new, it might go against something that they've been doing all their life, and that's why they won't want to apply it to their life. So if you go to staying in Mark chapter 4 and read verse 19, the cares of the world and the deceitfulness of riches and the lust of other things entering in choke the word, and it becometh unfruitful. So they're going to say all the right things, yeah, this, that, and the third, but deep in their heart, deep down in their mind, they know that they don't want nothing to do with this. Let's go ahead and read it. You get me Isaiah 29, and you give me Isaiah 30. 29 and 13.
Isaiah 29, verse 13. Wherefore the Lord said, for as much as this people draw near me with their mouth, and with their lips do honor me, but have removed their heart far from me, and their fear toward me is taught by the precept of men.
So, saying the exact same thing. Get me Isaiah chapter 30 and 12 and 13.
Isaiah chapter 13.
Isaiah 30. Just give me verses 12 and 13. Read 29 again. 29, 13.
Wherefore the Lord said, for as much as this people draw near me with their mouth, and with their lips do honor me, but have removed their heart far from me, and their fear toward me is taught by the precept of men.
So these people are saying all the right things, but really they don't fear the Most High. They've made up their own doctrine which they fear. So the precepts of men, now that's truly what they fear, what they have said, what they made up, what their vain imagination told them. Go ahead. This is
Isaiah 30 and 19.
12 and 13.
Wherefore thus saith the Holy One of Israel, because he despised the word and trust in oppression and perseverance and stayed thereon.
So you're trusting in oppression and perseverance.
right.
You despise the word,
right.
and that's your heart being far from me.
That's right.
You trust in it, and that goes right up at, what is it? Isaiah 50 and 9. Woe unto them that go up down into Egypt. So that's your oppressor. You're trusting in a worldly system, and you think it's going to save you. But those who go to save their lives shall lose it, and the ones that lose their life for my sake, that same shall be saved. So you've got to let all that garbage go of this worldliness, and then you're able to move forward. Give me 12 and 13 again.
Isaiah 30, 12. Wherefore thus saith the Holy One of Israel, because he despised the word and trust in oppression and perseverance and stay thereon, therefore this iniquity shall be to you as a breach ready to fall, swelling out in high wall, whose breaking cometh suddenly as at an instant.
So you want to read it again? Go ahead.
That again.
Go ahead, man.
Isaiah 30, verse 12. Wherefore thus saith the Holy One of Israel, because ye despise the word and trust in oppression and perseverance and stay thereon, therefore this iniquity shall be to you as a breach ready to fall, swelling out in a high wall, whose breaking cometh suddenly at an instant.
So we got to understand what the word breach means. So a breach, it's a bursting forth, an outburst, or a broken wall, outburst of God's wrath. So there's going to be an outburst of God's wrath towards you. Read it again.
Isaiah 30, wherefore thus says, Isaiah 30 and 12, wherefore thus says the Holy One of Israel, because ye despise this word and trust in oppression and perseverance and stay thereon, therefore this iniquity shall be to you as a breach.
As an outburst of God's wrath. An outburst of Yahweh's wrath. Are you starting to understand now why we have to study a certain way? Because the church is never going to read the Bible to you because they know what it says. And it doesn't have a feel-good message where you soil a seed and give a little money and then God blesses you. First of all, his name isn't God. So that's completely a false doctrine. God is it's a Hebrew word. G-A-W-D is the original pronunciation. God. And it means Babylonian deity of financial increase. It's a god of lucre. It's the god of money. So when you're saying God, you're actually worshiping money. But they've now generalized it into the term of all the false gods and trying to include the real God, whose name is Yahweh. The word Yahweh means he exists. So when you go back to the Rosetta Stone and you look up the characters that are in the Paleo Hebrew, it's going to be pronounced Yah-ha-wah-ha. Wah-ha together is Wah. So Yahweh, and it means he exists. And his son's name will be within his name. And it says that. So wait. His father's name is inside of his son's name. Well, how is that possible? His name is Yahweh Shai. Yahweh Shai. What does that mean? That means he exists, the deliverer. And salvation is of the Jews who needs to be saved. And how are they going to be saved? From the deliverer. So let's jump around a little more. Let's jump over into the give me Psalms chapter 64, and we're going to start from the top, and then we're going to jump over into Titus after he's out of Psalms.
Psalm 64, verse 1. Hear my voice, O God, in my prayer. Preserve my life from fear of the enemy. Hide me from the secret counsel of the wicked, from the insurrection of the workers of iniquity, who whet their tongue like a sword and bend their bows to shoot their arrows, even bitter words.
Okay, so he's praying, protect me, Yahweh, and from the secret counsel of the wicked. So who is the secret counsel of the wicked? I mean, they have a summit every year. They don't want you to know what they're doing. In fact, this is a really good thing. There's in the 1950s, I think Eisenhower, one of those guys, I forget what president it was, he invented the counterintelligence program. What is that? Well, keep reading for me.
Psalm 64 and verse 4. That they may shoot in secret at the perfect. Suddenly do they shoot at him and fear not. They encourage themselves in an evil manner. They commune of laying snares privily. They say, who shall see them?
Right there. So, they shoot in secret at the perfect. Who are the perfect? The perfect are the Israelites that have come back to the 100% truth, that are out teaching on the highways and the hedges and preaching to the wind. Those are the perfect, because we're doing the instructions given to us by Yahweh. Now, how do they shoot at us privately? Well, I just told you. They're in the 50s, they created the counterintelligence program. So when you have an activist group, you'll have these CIA and FBI agents. What they'll do is they'll compromise the group. They'll join the camp. You'll think that everybody's the same, and they'll be the ones that are privately destroying your camp from the inside out. Gaslighting, which means putting doubt in the heads of the other students, and then pinning people against each other. All this stuff is real. They've been doing this to us to stop us since the beginning. That's why when you go out and there will be a bunch of people together, all of a sudden just one person shoots in through it, starts throwing rocks, and all this stuff is all here. These people are actually paid to do this stuff. They're paid to stop the truth from coming out. It's all about you Israelites that don't know you're Israelites coming back to the truth. That's what all of this is about. Why did what is that? Netanyahu. You know what they did before all of this war and everything happened with Gaza? They kicked all the black people out of Israel. They said, you guys are no longer allowed in Israel because of your skin color. Not because of your bloodline, but since your skin is darker than ours, you're not allowed to be here. Look it up. I'm about dying of thirst. You guys want water? I got it. And grab that next verse. I think it was 5.
Psalm 64 verse 5. They encourage themselves in an evil manner. They commune of laying snares privily. They say, who shall see them? They search out iniquities. They accomplish a diligent search. Both the inward thought of every one of them and the heart is deep.
Who shall see me? Give me, here, I'll get it. Sirach, or Ecclesiasticus chapter 23. It says they encourage themselves. They exhort themselves in this. They're encouraged to do evil. They like it. This is what that's what they're here for. 23. Ecclesiasticus. That's Ecclesiasticus. So it's going to be in the Apocrypha. Yeah, you don't got the Apocrypha now. No, I'll get it. Ecclesiasticus 23 and 19. Well, you gave me Ecclesiasticus 23. This version has the Apocrypha in it. So go ahead and get it.
23 and 10.
19.
19. Sirach, chapter 23, verse 19. They fear human eyes.
Wait, that's not King James. Sirach 23 and 19. It is hard sometimes to get your Bible to allow you. See what mine's doing is trying to give me a dreams. I asked for Sirach 23 and 19. This is what it's giving me. This is Sirach 23 and 19 then. But wait, you go up to the top. What is that? Sirach 23 and 19. But then they don't want to give me the KJV. They'll give me alcohol. They'll give me all this different stuff. But they won't show me a King James version of it. So it's just part of the deal. Satan cometh immediately. You found it? All right.
23 and 19. Such as a man only feareth the eyes of men, and knoweth not that the eyes of the Lord are 10,000 times brighter than the sun, beholding all the ways of men, and considering the most secret parts. He knew all things.
Just 19. Okay, so right there. So now they encourage themselves in the ear matter. They conclude laying snares privily, saying, "Who shall see them?" So when you read this, it says that right here. It says they only fear the eyes of men. They knoweth not that the eyes of Yahweh are 10,000 times brighter than the sun. So they don't even in their mind, they're not comprehending that the Most High is watching them. So you're not comprehending that the Most High is actually watching you, and you're going to be judged on everything that you do in your life in the end. That's Revelation 22 and 12. I read it every week. Behold, I come quickly. My reward is with me to give every man according to his work shall be. So when you think that you're righteous and you're doing God's work, you're doing God's work. You're not doing Yahweh's work. See, there's a difference. Christianity and the Bible are two different things. That's why they don't teach you the Bible in Christianity. They teach you to read the Bible, but not to break down the scriptures correctly. If they did, they wouldn't take everything out of context. Shalom, Akim, shalom. Let's go ahead and let's jump over to Titus. Again, Titus chapter 1, and just go, and then you go to the book of James chapter 2. Just give me start with verse 15, because he already read 10 through 14.
Titus 1, chapter verse
15.
Con. Titus 1, chapter 1, verse 15. Unto the pure of all things are pure, but unto them that are defiled and unbelieving is nothing pure, but even their mind and conscience is defiled.
So unto the pure, unto the people that are keeping the law, all things are pure. Why? Because we don't go outside of the law. But unto them that are defiled and unbelieving, nothing is pure. Why? Because you can't get your mind right. But indeed, their mind and conscience is defiled. So it's not like I'm making this up. It literally says it in the Bible. So give me James chapter 2, 10 and 11.
James chapter 2, verse 10. For whosoever shall keep the whole law and yet offend in one point, he is guilty of all. For he that said, do not commit adultery, said also, do not kill. Now if thou commit no adultery, yet if thou kill, thou art become a transgressor of the law.
So, read that again.
For whosoever shall keep the whole law and yet offend in one point, he is guilty of all. For he that said, do not commit adultery, said also, do not kill. Now if thou commit no adultery, yet if thou kill, thou art become a transgressor of the law.
I'm gonna get a precept I'm gonna use a precept to break that verse down. Let's go to Ezekiel chapter 33 and 12. Therefore, thou son of man, say unto the children of thy people, the righteousness of the righteous shall not deliver him in the day of his transgression. As for the wicked of the wickedness of the wicked, he shall not fall thereby in the day that he turneth from his wickedness. Neither shall the righteous be able to live for his righteousness in the day that he sinneth. So in other words, you could be keeping the laws, but once you start breaking the laws, you are no longer considered righteous. But for all of you wicked, if you're not keeping the laws, but all of a sudden there's something inspires you to go back to the truth, all your wickedness will be forgotten. Let's jump around. Go ahead and give me Titus 1 and 16, and you get me Ezekiel 31 and 32.
Titus 1 and 16. They profess that they know God, but in works they deny him.
Wait, that was it, right? Oh, wait, go ahead. No, keep going. I'm sorry.
Being abominable and disobedient, and unto every good work reprobate.
No. So, reprobate means bound for destruction. But read it again. Read that first part again.
They profess that they know God, but in works they deny him.
Right there. You have works and you have faith, but I will show my works by my faith. Let's go to the book of James, chapter 2 and 18. Let's make sure I said that. I don't want to.
I will show you my faith by my works.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't. That's why I want to. I'm paraphrasing, so I have to bring out the actual verse. It says, "Yea, a man may say, Thou hast faith, and I have works. Show me thy faith without thy works, and I will show thee my faith by my works." So read that again in Titus 1 and 16.
They profess that they know God, but in works they deny him, being abominable and disobedient, and unto every good work reprobate.
So they're saying that they know God, but they don't do any of his works. So it's just more talk. You're just doing a lot of talk. You're not actually doing anything. You can profess that you love God, and God knows your spirit, and God this and God that. First of all, you're not even saying the damn name right. I do not hear sinners. So think about that. And if you think that you're not a sinner, wow. You tell me one thing that you do that's according to the law, and I'll agree with you. I'll have to, right? But give me Ezekiel 33, 31, and 32.
Ezekiel 33, verse 31 and 32. And they come unto thee as the people cometh, and they sit before thee as my people, and they hear thy words, but they will not do them. For with their mouth they show much love, but their heart goeth after their covetousness.
And was that 31 and 32? Perfect.
That was 31.
Oh,
Do them both.
read it again, man. We got to break that one down first.
And they come unto thee as the people cometh, and they sit before thee as my people, and they hear thy words, but they will not do them.
Right there. Once again, it goes back into what I was saying just a second ago. There's faith, and then there's works, and some people will say I have faith, and other people will say I have works, but you're not doing them. So read it again. I'm sorry. Read it again.
And they come unto thee as the people cometh, and they sit before thee as my people, and they hear thy words, but they will not do them. For with their mouth they show much love, but their heart goeth after their covetousness.
So their mind goes after worldliness. They come unto you as people like, oh, Kwame Asha, brother, Kwame Asha, praise Jesus, praise Jesus. They're all doing the same thing. But they hear the words too, but they don't accept them. They forbear them. They fall away from them. That's why it says, but they will not do them. For with their mouth they show much love, and we've already gone through that. That goes back into Titus, which we're talking about, all the way back to 10 through 15 and 16. So, but what they really want is to fulfill their own lust. Yeah, your own personal lust. That's it. It's all about you. So, 32.
Ezekiel 33, verse 32. And lo, thou art unto them as a very lovely song of one that hath a pleasant voice, and can play well on an instrument. For they hear thy words, but they do them not.
That goes back to you not having any works, because why? You have no faith. See, if you really truly believed in what's going on here and the breakdowns and the scriptures, you're going to apply it to your life. That is considered the works. The works is, well, maybe I'm not going to go out. Well, when's the Shabbat? First of all, I got to figure it out. That way I know which day to stay home. When are the high holidays? Well, I got to run that off of the Shabbat. So I need to start at the Shabbat. I need to start at the Sabbath at the beginning of a month. That way, when it says 15 days after, 7 days after, I know I'm on the right path. I can move to step number 2. Now I've got the Shabbat right. I can go to the high holidays, the solemn feast days. And solemn means serious. So when you have a solemn assembly, it's a serious assembly of the people. Not a gathering for a fashion show or a dating hour or everybody write a speech how great you are. Do you see that one? But anyway, okay, let's get back into it. Let's go over to the book of Mark, chapter 7. And give me Mark 7, 6 and 7, and you go to Isaiah 28.
Mark 7, verse 6. And he answered and said unto them, well hath Esaias prophesied of you hypocrites, as it is written, this people honoreth me with their lips, but their heart is far from me.
They lie. They say, I love me some Jesus, but you won't do anything that he tells you. So my perfect example always is, you love something, you'll do what it says. People love some GPS, because I tell you what, if GPS tells you to take a right turn in 500 feet, you better believe you're going to listen to them. If it says take a left turn in 200 feet, you're going to listen to that GPS. You are going to follow GPS to the T. But the Most High is saying, I'm your GPS. I am leading you to the kingdom. Yet you will not follow the instructions, but you're still trying to get there.
That's right.
Let's keep going. Did you get 6 and 7?
I got 6.
Let's keep going.
Mark 7, verse 7. Howbeit in vain do they worship me, teaching for doctrines the commandments of men.
One more time. What did I tell you? You guys are more invested in a worldly beast system than trying to figure out why is this book the most read, the most sold, the most disputed, the most debated book on earth. Only a few people, there's going to be a droplet of people that even understand or will be able to accept. That's why some people will tell you, oh yeah, praise God, praise Jesus, praise the, come on, brother. They're going to say all that stuff, but they don't really believe it because they have no faith. There's just no faith base in you, and you can't get it unless Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai plants it in you. So you're not, that's why it says that, what is it, he found pleasure in the foolishness of our teaching. And why does he find pleasure in the foolishness of our teaching? Let me get it, bro. It's 1 Corinthians 1 and 21. For after that in the wisdom of Yahweh, the world by wisdom knew not Yahweh. It pleased Yahweh by the foolishness of preaching to save them that believe. So it's foolishness even for Yahweh. Bahashim Yahweh Shai for us to be out here. But he finds it very acceptable that we would go this far to show our faith. Give me Isaiah. You got Isaiah 28? Give me 9 and 11. I mean 9 through 11.
Isaiah 28, chapter 9, verse 9. Whom shall he teach knowledge, and whom shall he make to understand doctrine? Them that are weaned from the milk and drawn from the breast. For precepts must be upon precept, line upon line,
Precept upon precept.
line upon
Precept
line.
precept.
Here a little and there a little.
Go ahead.
For
read
with
again.
stammering lips and another tongue will he speak to his people.
Read it again. Start at 9.
Isaiah 28, verse 9. Whom shall he teach knowledge?
Who is he going to let understand this book? Keep going.
And whom shall he make to understand doctrine?
Who's going to do this? Who understands this book? Them that are weaned from the milk and drawn from the breast. What does that mean? That you need to start breastfeeding again? No, it means those that have learned the basic knowledge and wisdom that the Bible actually teaches. There's basic knowledge and wisdom in here that you can live by that will save you. Those are the people that are drawn. What is it? Weaned from the they're weaned from the milk and drawn from the breast. Precept must be upon precept, precept upon precept, line upon line, line upon line. Here a little, there a little. Do you see them going back and forth? Precept being upon precept. Do you know why it's so repetitious? Because nobody listens. Nobody listens. Even in the Bible, he's like precept upon precept, precept upon precept, line upon line, line upon line. Here a little, there a little. And with another lip and a stammering tongue, you're going to teach these people. What's the stammering tongue? English. I could go to the store to buy 2 loaves of bread for $2. You want to go too? That is stammering as fuck. How can we even understand this book written in English? And then you got people telling you, don't worry about looking up the words. Go by your heart and your feeling and your spirit. No, I need to know what the word says. How can I have any spirit or feeling? How do I know if I'm doing right or wrong unless I was told correctly? And when you break down scriptures, when you break the scriptures down, it's not to be compromised for self-gain or self-glory or money or to be exalted by others. No, it's not for that. All the praise, all the honor, all the glory belongs to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. I got one more verse we're going to close out here. Give me Revelation 22 and 12. And give me Revelation 22 and 7. Go first.
Revelation 22, verse 7. Behold, I come quickly. Blessed is he that keepeth the sayings of the prophecy of this book.
Behold, time's running out. The people that are invested in doing the works when he shows up, those are the people that he's going to save. Go ahead, give me 12.
And behold, I am coming quickly, and my reward is with me, to give to everyone according to his work.
So wait a second. So like I told you earlier, how can he pay you according to your works if he's not watching you with those eyes that are 10,000 times brighter than the sun? You will be repaid. You will be repaid. The kingdom is coming and you will be repaid. And with that being said, if you got eyes to see and real ears to hear the truth when it comes out, I pray that you got something out of this message. Shalom.